There is a question for the there are many surahs in the Holy Qur'an which starts with swearing. Allah swears by some of His creatures. The commentators say that Allah swears by these creatures because they are very big or very important or something like this. But sometimes we find that the swear is for something which is not very important. For instance, والسماء والطارق. طارق, they say this najm in the sky. We doesn't care about it. Or والفجر وليال عشر. What is ليال عشر? What is the importance of these things? So what is the significance of Qasam in the Quran?
You see, the Kasam is a subject which should be fully understood in its entirety. The Holy Qur'an presents God as bearing witness or swearing by people, as they say it, by things, even by people. وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. And وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. And also وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا. And وَالصَّافَّاتِ صَفًّا. So many things are mentioned in the Holy Qur'an, quite a few in fact, by which Allah swears, it seems. But the meaning of swear is simply to call to witness. That is the essence of swearing, and the rest of the meanings we have ourselves attached to the meaning swearing are superficial and meaningless. When Hadhrat Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited people from swearing by the name of any other person than Allah, this is what he had in mind. While Allah Himself is swearing by others, if this is shirk, then is shirk being committed by God Himself? So that is why it's very important to understand the essence of the swear, the word swear. It's not the English swearing, to call by bad names. I'm not talking of that. To call to witness, that's the meaning. Now everything is a witness to God. Wherever you go, in whichever direction you move, you simply cannot find a single atom in the universe or a single aspect of the running of the universe which does not lead to God. So when Allah says by that and by that, it awakens the dormant state of people's thinking and mind and consciousness. He says, why don't you see this? Are there not signs of the existence of Allah, of the majesty of Allah in all these things? And if you do that, that is not forbidden in Islam. Witnessing for the sake of bearing witness for the truth of anybody is not what is forbidden by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam. What is forbidden is that you do not call as a witness an imaginary God who does not exist. When you swear by him, then that is idolatry. You understand? An example is given from I can quote one example from the Holy Qur'an, which carries the same sense. I said even a small particle is bearing witness to the existence of God. And that witness is important witness, because the person for whom it is bearing witness is important. So whatever is in the universe is important enough for this purpose. For instance, the Holy Qur'an tells us, Inna Allah la Inna Allah la yastahi an yadriba masalan ma ba'udatan fama fawqaha. Allah does not feel any shame or shy, is not shy of giving the example of even a mosquito. Fama fawqa, even what you think are smaller things. God can give their example with pride. La yastahi means, it doesn't mean that there is something to be ashamed of. God said, no, I'm not ashamed. It means there is nothing to be ashamed of. even in the smallest creature of God. So beautiful, so perfect, so wonderful. So for the Mufassirin to say that this is a small thing, that is a big thing, in comparison to God, everything is small. But when it gives witness to God, it becomes important. Right? Now coming to those examples, please. Quote those examples with which you began the question.
Yes,
What about this and what about that?
We have sometimes والكتاب المبين والقرآن المجيد. This in many verses.
Right.
Then, for instance, والذاريات.
Zarwan.
نعم. And والطور والفجر وليال عشر والسماء والطارق والسماء ذات البروج.
There's so many things, but we can't take them all
Yes,
together. But let's start with the example you quoted in the beginning. والسماء والطارق
For instance.
وما أدراك ما الطارق.
نعم.
والسماء والطارق. الطارق is, according to different commentators, means so many things. Then the star which appears after the night falls is also a tariq. But whatever comes after the nightfall is tariq, which appears after the sun sets. So God is telling us that during the day you can see with your eyes and there is light, and you think you can be led to truth only during the daylight. But God's existence is so powerfully established in the universe that even during the night, whatever happens would still lead to God. And the darkness cannot stand, the physical darkness cannot stand between an observer here and God. So whatever follows after night, if you study that, you will be amazed at things which are happening. Now, I'm not going to indulge in a longish discussion on this subject, but I must quote a few examples. At night, you go to sleep, but another world comes to life. A huge world which is much bigger than the one which is awake during the daytime. What is happening in the oceans, in the jungles, the insect life, and they become busy performing various functions without which the life of our day would be meaningless. They do preparation all night for us and do strange things. For instance, the plants are, giving out carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is essential for the balances of the nature, and they consume that carbon dioxide in the morning with the help of the light for making food for us. And the insects which work during the night, they eat away the things and return them back to nature. Otherwise, whatever you have consumed of energy, prepared energy, would remain locked up, but you will not be able to use it. For instance, the stools, the urine, all the waste product, not only of human beings, but the whole animal life, is far more actively disintegrated back to its original shape at night time than during the day. Most insects, most worms are at work at night in peace when there is no disturbance. And this is just a small example, what I told you of the sea, what happens at the sea in the oceans at night. That's immense. But leave that alone. The Holy Qur'an draws our attention to another aspect of night, which again bears witness to the existence of God.